Are you stuck in quarantine and emotional mess? Well, why not add some pseudo-physical pain to the mix too? Hey guys, it's Apocalyptic Brown Barbie and this is Profanity Yoga, Hips Edition. Alright, we're gonna get started in a child's pose all together. Hips on your heels, forehead down towards the mat. Arms either out in front of you or back by your sides, palms facing the ceiling. Take a breath or two to feel like a lime green jelly bean on the ground, and then slowly start to roll yourself up vertebrae by vertebrae to a seated position. We're going to start with a side twist, so bring your right hand behind you and your left hand over your right knee and look behind your right shoulder. And then when you're ready, switch it out. Opposite hand on the ground like a second spine, opposite hand over your knee. And then we'll do some seated cat-cows. On an exhale, round your back and look towards your navel for a cat. On an inhale, look up towards the ceiling and spread your shoulders, arch your back for a cow. Keep taking these on your own. On your inhales, when you look up and back, just say hi to Satan real quick. On your exhales, when you look towards your tummy, pretend you're looking at a little donut hole. And keep going. Try and decalcify the spine. Pretend you can make your back like a little gummy worm. When you're ready, we're going to move into an upper push-up plank position. In your upper push-up plank, just start to shift your weight forward and back and forward and back. Try and get your shoulders over your wrists. It's going to train you to actually use that core and become a little bit stronger. It's everybody's motherfucking pose, plank pose. Try and see if you can pause on a forward shift. Hold it there for a few seconds, and then downward facing dog. Hips up high, heels down low. On an inhale, reach your right leg straight behind you. Now listen to me. You have to square those hips. So drop that right hip down. Oh my fucking God, if you lift it up even a little bit higher than your left, I'm going to come to the camera and fucking kill you. All right, straight leg, lift it up a little bit higher. Then you can start to peel open that hip. Now you can start to stack the hips, bend the knees, start to flap open your toes, flap open your knee, get some movement going in the hamstrings, really start to open up right side body. On an exhale, you can begin to put that leg back down on the ground. All right, now don't fuck this up. Inhale, left leg straight behind you. Once again, drop that left hip down. Oh my God, I will kill you if you even decide to stack your hips at this point. Make them fucking square. And then when you can't square them anymore, then you can start to stack them. When you stack them, start to make, I don't know, some like stupid circles in the sky with your ankles and toes and whatever. Just make some like dumbass shapes or something. And then on an exhale, you can start to put that leg back down on the ground. All right, inhale, right leg straight up behind you. And then on an exhale, start to swing it all the way through in front of you. Bring your back knee down to the mat and release your toes behind you and start to play with that knee. See if you can push your right knee away from you. Start to kind of invite the hips to open up a little bit more. Push that knee away from you as if you're pushing away a really annoying person, like, not today, bitch. All right, and then we're going to do some leg lifts. So 2 hands come on the ground, top of the feet stays on the mat as you start to straighten out your leg and lift up your knee away from the ground. Do a few rounds of this to strengthen the quads, and then when you're ready, start to sit all the way up. See if you can sink a little bit deeper into those hips. Maybe you can get the top of the back thigh on the ground to take off the pressure in the knee. And then when you're ready, we're going to start to move into a back bend. So 2 hands come to your lower back. Once again, drop your head all the way back and say hi to Satan. And if you want to take a little bit more of a complicated version of this, you can interlace your hands in a steeple grip, reach forward, up, and back for a beautiful back bend and a really deep hip stretch. And then 2 hands come to the ground, step your foot back into an upper push-up plank, shift your weight forward. On an exhale, lower down, inhale, upward facing dog, and then exhale, tuck your toes, hips up high, heels down low, downward dog. Okay, inhale, left leg straight up behind you. On an exhale, sweep it all the way through in front of you, stack your knee on top of your ankle and drop your back leg behind you. Untuck your toes. Start to push away your left knee this time. Try to make space in the hips. See if your hips will open up today. Then we'll move right into those leg lifts. So continue to just lift up your knee off the mat, engage your quads, start to continue to straighten out that leg, and give yourself a little bit of a booty workout. All right, when you're ready, sit up, see if you can sink a little bit deeper into those hips, and then you might go for an assisted back bend. I'm going to go straight for the steeple grip, reach forward, up, and back. Curve yourself like a crescent moon shape. And then on an exhale, 2 hands slowly come back down to the mat and frame your foot. Step your foot back into a plank position once more. Shift your weight forward, lower, and take a flow. Really nice job. Shake off all of that work in a downward facing dog. Maybe you might want to take yourself for a little bit of a walk, like I'm doing right here. All right, from your downward facing dog, take little baby steps up to the top of your mat and hang in a forward fold. Feet are about hips width distance. Inhale, half lift, so hands rest on your shins or your thighs. Remember, your back is flat. Pretend there's a puppy on your back and the floor is lava. If you tilt or curve, the puppy will fall and it's all your fucking fault. On an exhale, let it go, forward fold. And then inhale, sit your seat low and reach your arms up. It's chair pose, motherfucker. Sit your tush super low as if you're taking a shit and reach your arms up super high, biceps straight if you can get them by your ears or out in front of your face. Take another inhale. On an exhale, you can let it go and fall forward. Inhale, half lift once more. Remember the floor is lava. And then exhale, release. Plant your palms into the mat. And then this time we're going to hop back. So bend your knees and then just take a hop into plank and bent elbows. Nice. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, tuck your toes, hips up high, heels down low. Right leg straight up behind you. Exhale, sweep it all the way through in front of you and stack your knee on top of your ankle. This time, keep your back heel high up on your toes and rise up into your high crescent lunge. Okay, we're going to do that leg lift thing again. So every exhale, see if you can drop your knee to touch the ground. And on an inhale, straighten out that leg. Use your muscles to create some really strong quads and glutes. Do as many sets as you like. Do it until you hate yourself and see if you can sink super low into those hips and open up those really tight hip flexors. Then drop your knee back down to the mat. We're going to do a half split, so shift your hips all the way back and keep your right leg super straight. Flex your right toes towards your face. 2 hands frame your shin and keep your back as flat as possible as you start to gently lower down towards your knee, towards your leg. See if you can actually get your forehead to touch your knee. At this point, you can slightly round your back if that helps you. All right, when you're ready, rebend your knee, untuck your back toes, step your foot back into a plank, lower, and take a flow. All right, from downward facing dog, inhale, left leg straight up behind you. Exhale, sweep it all the way through in front of you. Same thing, stack the knee on top of the ankle, keep the back toes super high up as you rise up into your crescent lunge. We're going to do those leg lifts again. So drop the knee, touch the ground. On an exhale, squeeze it back up. Drop the knee, exhale, squeeze it back up. Keep going like that. After you've done a couple of those rounds and you absolutely hate yourself, then drop that knee down to the ground, untuck the toes, and shift your hips back into a half split. See if you can keep your hips square. Keep your left leg as straight as possible. Flex those toes towards your face to keep that leg active. And then see if you can bring your forehead to the knee. You're allowed to round your back to facilitate a deeper stretch if that helps. And there's like a cupcake with like crack cocaine sprinkles on top of it on your knee, and you really want to make out with that cupcake. Okay. And then shift your weight forward back into a lunge, step your foot back, and take a flow. Really nice job. Once we meet up in a downward facing dog, you can start to bring your knees down to the mat. We'll do a camel pose. Knees about hips width distance. Release your toes behind you and start to stand on them. You can put your hands on your lower back as if you're going to put them into 2 jeans pockets. On an inhale, start with your head. Drop your head all the way back. Start slowly. Work your way into a super deep back bend. If you can see and breathe, then start to work your way into the thoracic spine, and then gently push your pelvis forward as you go into a super deep camel. One more time, say hello to Satan. It's the last time you're going to say hi to him. And then on an exhale, you can slowly start to find your way out of your camel pose. Rest your hips on your heels, palms open on your lap, facing the ceiling for your hero's pose. All right, let's just stop being assholes for a second and really pay attention to what's going on. Pretend you could watch everything that's going on in your head as if it's not really happening to you. Maybe it's like you're playing a video game and everything you're experiencing is happening to a character who looks and feels just like you. Kind of like a third-person omniscient point of view, or as if you were God or a bird's eye view. Feel it and then let it go. Put it in a red balloon, watch it float away. See that image happen painted on the back of your eyelids. And then start to swing your legs out in front of you. Come to a seated forward fold. Extend your legs out long. You can keep your knees bent if you need to. Flex your toes towards your face. Inhale, reach your arms up. On an exhale, dive forward and grab onto your feet or your calves or the backs of your knees. Take an inhale to pull yourself closer towards your legs. And then on an exhale, you can slowly roll yourself up vertebrae by vertebrae. And that's pretty much it for this Profanity Yoga Hips class. Let me know what you think.